Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am scrapbooking with my Brutus Monroe scrapbooking kit from the month of September, and I have some exciting plans for it. So let's see what I can do. So I have these two photos from the Jungle Cruise in Walt Disney World, and you guys, so we were in Walt Disney World in September 2020, and I cannot even begin to tell you about the rains that happened on this day where we have these photos. I wish I could show you the video of it. I wonder if I can upload it to this. Anyway, I wish I could show you the video of it, because when we got off of the Jungle Cruise, we kind of like hunkered down underneath of the overhang, and the waters happened so fast that it was flooding, and we had to go farther and farther back in the Jungle Cruise queue. It was crazy. We were there for about 2 hours. Usually, you know, you go in Disney World and you get the little bits of rain every afternoon, but this was some intense rain. So in the meantime of me telling you a little bit of the backstory, I went ahead and matted my photos on some blue cardstock, and I also have this blue dotted khaki cardstock. Now, all of the cardstock here came from Brutus Monroe. Not all of it came in the September scrapbook box. I really love this dotted cardstock. It's just fun. Now, I do decide that I am going to put the kind of bigger picture where you don't really see a lot of detail in the front, just because I want you to be able to really see the water. So I am taking the plastic that came inside of the scrapbook kit, and honestly, I don't know if that was just like a separator for this yellow stuff that came in the kit, or if it was meant to be in the kit. I don't know, but I'm using it. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going to create a kind of a shaker pocket with it. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be a clear pocket or if I wanted it to be backed on some blue, and I'm just kind of testing it out and figuring out what I like the best and what I think is going to be the best. Ultimately, I decide to keep it completely clear so that once I put the fill inside, you can still see underneath of it. And I think that turned out great. I really, really do like how it turned out. Now, the shaker pieces, the two plasticky pieces, are not entirely the exact same size, but that's okay because I will trim it when I'm finished. So I am just taking my ATG, and I was thinking about it for a little bit there. I was thinking about if I wanted to try a liquid glue instead, but ultimately I just decided to stick with the ATG. I just went around the edges, and I went around 3 edges because I was thinking I was going to put it on top of it and then dump the fill inside of it. But I ended up not dumping the fill inside. I ended up just placing it right on top of this plastic bit. Now my ATG is giving me a whole mess of a fit. The red one always does. The red one gives me a mess of a fit, and the pink one doesn't. I don't know. I think I probably have to like play around with a tension screw or something in there, but I just can't be bothered. So I went ahead and dumped in a bit of these decorative details, and they're like a shimmer flake. I can't remember if that is, let me reach. Yes, they're shimmer flakes. So if you have seen my Brutus Monroe shimmer flakes in a canister that I use, they are very similar to that. I also went ahead and pulled out the silver prism sequins. These are also from Brutus Monroe. They are super fun. So I just went ahead and sprinkled them around the little plastic part, and then I am carefully putting down the top sheet and just making sure that I have pressed it firmly and that nothing is really going to come loose. So now I kind of have this, it's not really a shaker pocket because there's not going to be a whole heck of a lot of shaking going on. It's kind of just a straight pocket, and this is where I'm trimming the edges a little bit, just so that I have that more solid rectangular shape. So I like what I have going on here. I know that that is going to be an element on my page. Now I was thinking about bringing in the kind of like the yellow pleather as well. For this one, I decided not to do that. I really want to try die cutting with it, so I decided that this layout wasn't going to have that happen. Now I did slice my khaki and blue cardstock here in, well, not really in half, but I did slice it up just because I wanted it to stretch further across the page than what I had. And that is a huge tip. If you want to save cardstock, or if your sheets are too small for what you have in mind, you can always cover up the join. So I'm going to go ahead and lay my photos down and really just figure out where I want them to be. Going to go ahead and mess around with that stupid ATG gun again. And then I'm going to layer it up. So this one photo is going to go over part of the shimmery, shakery pocket thing that I just made. And then the other one is going to stay inside the bounds of the dotted cardstock. Now, I never used this lighter blue cardstock that I had pulled out, so I decided that I just needed to add in a little bit more of a blue color. So the cardstock does not exactly match the dots. The dark blue cardstock does not exactly match the dots, and the light blue doesn't either. The dots are kind of a tone in between the light and the dark blue, so I just decided to go for it and make sure that they were all on there. And again, the ATG is giving me a problem. So now I have the base of my layout done. I was just flicking the little shaker pocket there to see what would happen. And now I have these other decorative details. I'm looking for the little baggie. I don't know if it has a name on it, but they're kind of like half back drops. I don't know what the exact name is. But they are in clear and blue. And I'm thinking, oh, you know, it would be fun if I kind of did a circle around the page. And I'm looking for a handy dandy circle in my room, and I don't have a handy dandy circle. I was thinking about trying to use a doily, but I was like, nope, that's not gonna work. So I ran out to the kitchen and grabbed a paper plate from Lana's birthday, where it says happy birthday on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and line that up and outline my circle. So there is that, and then I dump them out into my sequin tray. I'm going to grab my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. It is a clear matte drying glue. Love this stuff so much. Do a little bit of a line, and then I decide that I'm going to alternate the blue and the white, or not the white, the blue and the clear dots, and I'm just going to go ahead and follow the entire line around the page. So I am overlapping the photos, I am overlapping cardstock. I don't really worry about the little beads popping off because they are being held on with the Nuvo Deluxe, and that stuff is gorgeous. So in the video you kind of see the glue underneath of the dots. However, the layout is completely dry now, and you cannot see the glue through the dots. It just looks like the dots over top of the paper, so you don't even see it. I am not going to make you watch me put on every single little dot. I am using a crystalled katana to help me with the dots, and then voila, the dots are done. So the glued little dots are over to the left, and then I decide that I was going to use the stamp set again, and this is Rainy Day. This stamp set came in the scrapbooking box. I believe it is also available for purchase separately. I'm using my Raven Detail ink, my new Raven Detail ink pad, and let me say, the sucker is full of ink, and it's so So much easier to stamp when your ink pads aren't dry. Oh my goodness. I am using my Misty. It makes it super easy to just pop in a little bit of paper and ink it up, slap it down. If I needed to press it again, I could, and it wouldn't be in any like funky way. So I am not cleaning my stamps right now, guys. If I'm completely honest with you, most of the time I really don't clean my stamps. But do as I say and not as I do. Kind of moment here, and just make sure that you're taking care of your stamps. I do have some delicious Brutus Monroe stamp cleaner. I still have a little bit of the holiday cookie left from last Christmas, so I'm fingers crossed for some good bakery smelling ones this Christmas. So there we go. I have those all stamped out. Now I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and go ahead and fussy cut those out. Biggest tip with fussy cutting, you guys, is that don't do this either. I'm like playing with the blades on my fingers. There's glue on there, and instead of taking the time to clean off the glue, I just decided to grab another pair of scissors. Now these scissors fit comfortably in my hand. I can open and close them easily. I don't have any kind of issues. And then as you can see, I am mostly using my left hand to move the paper, and in theory, the only thing I am doing is opening and closing my right hand. There is a little bit of movement, but you know, that just happens from the angle. So I go ahead and fussy cut all of those out, and then since the paper plate was handy, I went ahead and grabbed that bad boy. I'm using a little bit of blue Aqua pigment, and I'm just putting it a little drop on the plate, and then I am using a very fine paintbrush to go ahead and paint the Aqua pigment in to these rain boots. Now I think that these rain boots would be awesome if you rainbow colored them, but this time we're just using the blue, so that's what I'm going to go with. And I am just following the every other striped pattern, and I think that they come out pretty cute. Like, you know, they're super cute, I think. I was thinking about adding some glossy accents or embossing them just to give them a little bit of shine, but I decided that there was already a lot of sparkle and shine going on the page, and I did not need my rain boots to be my rain boots to be sparkly and shiny as well. So there is that. Now I am just going to wrap that up, and then I decide that I'm going to add a little bit of blue to this umbrella as well. I use the straight on blue Aqua pigment to do the little point and also the handle, and then I add in a little bit of water, and then that's going to give me a less saturated blue to place on top of the umbrella. Now it is a very subtle difference on the umbrella itself, but I can tell the difference. You might not be able to on camera, and that's okay. You might not even notice it when you're flipping through my albums, and that's okay as well. I know it's there, and I like the little bit of a shadow that I have given it. So basically I colored the entire umbrella here with the lighter blue color, and then I darkened it up a little bit and went ahead and added the darker blue color over top of the stamp lines, and that does give it a little bit of a fun look. I'm looking at it right now and I really like it. So I am just using a super tiny little brush. This is a brush that my grandmother gave me. I have a whole bunch of brushes. She used to have a ceramic studio, and the woman, she was absolutely amazing, and her artistic skill was just wow. Like, the woman could paint. Since then she's had some problems and she's lost a lot of her vision, and she just can't anymore. But boy, back in the day, wow. So I do have a lot of brushes in my scrapbook room from her painting days. So I added some foam squares to the back of the umbrella and also to the back of the rain boots. And I was thinking about where I was going to put these swirly clouds that I stamped out. And originally I was going to put one over there and have one over here as well. But I really liked doing kind of like this big cluster of clouds over here underneath of the umbrella. I don't know. I just like the way it looked. So I went ahead and adhered that down, and I love this little cluster over here. I don't know what it is. I think the clouds are super cool. I love the little umbrella. I even tie a little baker's twine yellow and white bow on the umbrella, and I just think it's awesome. I mean, I'm just completely pleased with how this layout is turning out. So I figure out where I want the boots, and then I know that I have got to add a little something. So I grabbed the twine that did come in the scrapbook box, and at first I was going to tie a bow around the umbrella. But I didn't have enough. I try to like finagle it, it doesn't work. I just pull it off completely, tie the bow without anything, and then glue the bow right down to the edge of the umbrella, and I think it turns out great. I am super happy with it. I just adjust it a little bit so I get the sizing right, and then I just hold the bow up and snip off the little legs of it. And then I thought, well, do I want it at the bottom? No, I definitely want it at the top. Just going to go ahead and grab my Nuvo Deluxe glue one more time. I'm going to can't even speak. Going to put a little dot of it down there. And then I also put a little dot on the handle as well, because I'm kind of using the handle as a continuation because I don't have the dots right where the umbrella is. Now I'm thinking about, do I add in some raindrops? Like what do I need to do to add to this paper? Now I decided, since I have so much black stamping on the layout and really no black anywhere else, I'm going to go ahead and do just a single doodly border around the edge. And then I decided that the yellow paper looked like it needed a doodly border as well. I decided the other ones did not. The blue papers or the khaki paper did not need a doodly border whatsoever. I grab some letter stickers from my stash. These are foam. They are called Together. And I'm just going to figure out where I want to put the word Downpour. Now, I had to kind of look at my letters and figure out what I was going to do, because I was going to do Rainstorm, but obviously I had no A's, and I didn't really want to turn a V upside down. I do that a lot, but for some reason on this one, I really didn't want to. So I decided to go with the word Downpour. And then I'm just placing that along the bottom. I'm kind of making it straight. It's not in a super rigid straight line, but I'm okay with that. So I have those down there, and now I'm going to pull out the stamp set and figure out what I want to do. So I do cut this stamp set apart. I cut Dance in the Rain apart. I put Rain back on the backer sheet, and then I know that I want to stamp Dance in so that the title reads Dance in the Downpour. Now I thought I was going to have the great idea of using the top of my ink pad, and then I realized, duh Sandy, you can't see through the top of your ink pad. So I pulled the stamp off, I grabbed a little acrylic block, and I went ahead and stamped it down there. And then I put that back and then decided to stamp the word Dance. Now, because of the bubbles, it does not give a great impression because the acrylic can't go down because the bubbles are there. So I pulled the stamp off of the block and just stamped it with my finger. And then I'm going to go ahead and place the rain boots back onto the layout. And I am loving this, you guys. Like, I am just so happy with it. And then I decide to go ahead and journal with my black emoji pen, and it says, as we were exiting the jungle cruise, the heavens opened up and bam, the rains were wow. We took shelter under the Jungle Cruise Fast Pass area, and then it started to flood because of all the water. It was crazy. We were in the Jungle Cruise queue for about 2 full hours, and that was insane. And then I felt so bad because there were kids that had to go to the bathroom so bad, and this one family was just like, well, we got to take her. And they just trudged out there in the rain. I mean, there was so much rain, it felt like it was raining from the sky and the ground. It was intense. I also just go ahead and write the date, September 2020, down on the layout. And I put it down here at the bottom underneath of the one photo because I basically filled in that entire light blue area. So there it is, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for joining me. Let me know what you think about what I'm doing with this scrapbook box so far. I know it is October and I'm still playing with September's, but you know what? Sometimes that's just the way it goes. I will see you guys again real soon for another video.